Alright, hey, what's up, YouTube? Hitting you again with another sample. Well, first video was West Coast type beat. Now we're gonna take it to the East Coast and show you how we sample and how we orchestrate and how we how we turn like a sample or a soul beat. You know, basically like I'm about the soul in the music. I'm about the you know, bringing out the. I mean, the music has soul, but when you sample, you don't want to make the soul go away. You want to maintain it, and you want to bring it out. So here today, we're going to be using FL Studio. So let me turn the camera. Basic FL Studio. FL Studio 9 is what I work with. Show you the sample and let you know what it's all about. Sample today is going to go from the song Gene Terrell. Sorry. I'm sorry if I said her name wrong. I think it's Gene Terrell or Jane or something. But basically I just found it on the net, and you know, I thought it was dope. So I can actually play it for you. The actual piece. So all sample credits go to her. Hopefully she doesn't sue me or something crazy like that. I don't even know if she's still alive or anything, so let's hope not. So basically, I could just keep it right here. What I did was I just got the song, downloaded it on iTunes, Change Up On You, and let me play it for you real quick. So from the beginning, you can tell it has like a lot of soul. The song's called Change Up. So basically that's what I did. I just found it and you know, chopped it up. I bought it, so it's not like I just am totally, you know, desecrating her work. I, you know, gave her my $1.29 or whatever. You know, so basically you can see how we get it done, how I sample and how I get the job started. So let me open up that file again. Wrong file. So basically, what you do when you want to sample, if you've never sampled with FL Studio, I was taught like this from one of my homies. He said, you know, if you want to sample, first of all, you know, take it into Edison. So I can show you, like this is the track right here. Make sure that's all good. And this, so basically that's what I wanted to sample. I wanted to sample that's why I really love old songs like Earth, Wind and Fire and Gene Terrell and, you know, Denise Williams, because back then they were more into the soul, and that's why they have these, like they do these little breakdowns, you know. Well, basically the band can get in there and do something, you know. So that little part right there, that's what I took for sample. And basically I can show you a demonstration if you've never done it. If you want to sample with Edison, well, not sample, but if you want to chop with Edison, because all I do is chop with it. I usually don't sample with Edison. Sampling pertaining to, you know, like when I assign it to keys and stuff like that. But there's this little button over here. It has a plus sign, a marker and a plus sign. That's what it has. I can zoom in on that, or piece of crap camera. Alright. But that's what you want to do, and that's gonna, like, so when I push that, I get a little marker that comes up over there, and if you saw it, little, you know, a little orange thing just popped up. And basically that's telling me that I chopped it right there, or I sliced it right there, or I set a marker right there. So what I do is I let it go through, the, you know, and then I just keep pushing that button where I feel I should slice it. So in this particular example, and then I'd stop it. Dun 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 dun, you know, and then basically it'd chop it wherever I push the button. And from there, that's where I take it into another thing on FL Studio. It's called FL Slicer, and that's basically your sampler. So basically what I did is I made my chops, you can see, and this is where I I sliced it. You know, and they have generic ones too. You could like set it on 1/16 of a measure, or go with the beat, like 1 beat, 2 beat. But basically what I did is I just, you know, made my own chops and did what I did. And then so basically what you want to do, if you know what you're gonna do, like on this track I didn't really know what I was going for. So I made my chops, and then I started just messing around with them pretty much, you know, like. And the cool thing about it is like it's chopped, so you can like and this is what I came up with when I did it, so. So basically like that, and I can play the actual. In FL Studio 9, I just went through and you know, sequenced it up. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what I'm working with. And basically, that's what I did. I went through and I found a melody, you know, because I thought that was pretty dope. So basically that's what I had going, and then you know, I inverted it. So usually me, when I sample, I want to have one sample inverted to the stereo, and then one sample playing in the mono. So like you have a wide variety of that sample, and the sample is more rich, you know. So basically what I did then is I sampled that, chopped it up. And then once I did that, then I went and added in the snare. And the snare, I just used something, you know, out of my 9th Wonder pack. People know me, I like the 9th Wonder pack. And add a little clap. Something that's gonna like really just make it stand out, you know. So I'll play that for you. So, you know, that's what I had going there. And basically for the drums, me, when I sample, I like to, you know, you gotta know how to sample first and foremost. Like, you gotta know how to filter out bass lines. You know, 9th Wonder did a good interview on it. If you just type in 9th Wonder on sampling, he'll tell you, you know, you gotta know how to sample out. You know, you gotta know how to sample. You know, you gotta know how to chop correctly. You know, chord progression, you gotta know that, and you gotta just know what you're looking for in a sample. Like, a lot of times a sample won't just fall into your lap and then it's all good. You have to work for that sample, and it got to make sense. Like, he even says that it has to make sense. So So like when I sample, I use that bass line. So the bass line was like dun 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 dun. So from there, that's where I made my drums. And everybody, you know, and the drums should accompany, or they should enhance the bass, you know. The bass should go the way it's gonna go. So if I could play the sample for you, and I can even go as far as like freaking turning off the highs and just playing you. So can you see, by listening to that bass line, where your drum should go, you know? Like, boom, 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 boom. So that's how I did it. Basically, from the bass line, I was able to make the drums, and that's exactly what I did. With the sample, you don't want to clash with the original instruments. You want there to be a unison when you sample. So like me, like, if I, you know, and I have my snare going, you know, and then I add in my kicks, you know, and I use a certain kind of kick to get that bump, you know. So you see how I follow another key step. You see how when I sample, I follow the bass. Dun 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 dun. So basically that's how I got that done, and that's just an easy way. If you're ever sampling and you can't find out the drums, you can't figure it out, that's a good way. You should always just trust in the sample and copy the sample, pretty much. So once I get that going, you know, I have my so then, you know, you want to add in your little shaker, you know, you want to, your hat, I tried to make it pretty, added in some chimes and stuff like that. If you really want to make a soul sample, you want to add in some Congo. So that's what or bongo, Congo. Add in some Africa, yeah. You know, you want to add in some bongo, you want to add in some tambourine. You know, just a bunch of stuff that just that traditionally go to soul music. You know, if I can just, I'll play it all together for you. So, as you can tell, that bump's pretty nice. So what we want to do then is, now that we got everything down, we got a shaker, we got a, you know, tambourine to bring out the soul, we got our chimes, you know, to just put some icing on the cake. We got the sample chopped, and don't get it twisted though. I had to, like, you know, filter out these samples. And so let's check it out. Wrong one. Basically all I do is a fade in effect. And what I did is I just had the verse right before the sample, kind of introduces the sample at the same time. So there goes the sample. Beautiful sample. And from there I go into the beat, the chop sample. Yeah, yeah. So basically on that sample, what I did was, all I had was one measure of beat, and I just kept on looping it pretty much. Because with samples, soul samples particularly, okay, I'm not going to say that word then. Typically on soul samples, you want to have not much variation, because you can't really do much with the sample unless you have, unless you recreate it. You know, I know Dr. Dre and like the big dogs like Kanye West have a whole whole symphony in there with him, you know, and they'll just be recreating samples, whereas me, I'm just like a broke college kid who knows how to chop in FL Studio. So basically, you know, all I did was I take the camera up close. All I did was, you know, loop that, cutting and slicing, putting the same thing, and switching up the beat every once in a while. Remember to take out a couple of drums, or take out, like, have breakdowns and stuff. Not excessively, but you could tell I have some breakdowns in there, and, you know, I just get it in pretty much. So, and that's pretty much how you sample. If you're working with, you know. That's how we do that then. Whoa. Alright, but yeah, like again, like I said, that's usually the key to making a sample. You know, you want to have a good sample, soul sample particularly. You want to, you know how to chop, know how to filter out bass lines and take out kicks or take out stuff that's going to clash with what you're trying to do. Basically, what I did on this one was I just took the sample, chopped it up, found something that was dope, and then added onto it. You know, like added the drums using the bass line. So that's another trick. If you're ever trying to look for some, if you're ever trying to look for that, that drum pattern to go with that sample, because that's happened to me a lot. So you just want to know how to, you know, EQ, how to filter out stuff, and how to get stuff right. You know. You want to have your basic soul sounds. You want to have tambourine. You want to have some bongos. You want to have some shakers. You know. You want to have like stuff that suits soul music. You don't want to really have a, you know, like a piano or like a guitar. Well, maybe like a soulful guitar, like back in the day, like Jimi Hendrix type thing. You know, with some reverb on it. That sounds good. But you want to like make the beat specific to that genre. So, like again, you follow me on Facebook, Kyrie Ogles, KO. On Twitter, I'll have it down in the description. And thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll have another video up a little bit. Not really sure what it's gonna be about yet, but it's gonna be a dope track nonetheless. You know, it might be another sample, or it might be, you know, how to do an electronic beat or something like that. I'm pretty good at techno, so I'll probably hit you guys with a techno beat sooner or later. So thanks, and God bless.